Travis, you guys come up with a big win last night. You score in overtime. Actually, it's the third time you scored in overtime. I just wondered, do you remember all your goals, or are you the kind of guy that just puts it in the past?
Yeah, I know I have two NHL overtime goals. Last night, I have two playoff overtime goals in the American League, and then I think, including last night's, that's either two or three in the American League as well in regular season play. So yeah, I always remember them just because I always think it's I think it's like a fun goal to score, right? You end the game, you get to celebrate with the whole entire team, and it's like, especially in a situation like last night when, what a comeback for us, and that third period we played, and to be able to cap it off with the win instead of just getting that 1 point in overtime. I don't know, I was excited. Those are the games that that's still, I've been doing this a long time. I still had so much fun playing in that game last night, and being able to score the winner, just icing on the cake.
You talk about doing this a long time. One of the guys that is being honored by the American Hockey League, Hall of Fame, Chris Bourque. You started your career here and with him. What was it like leaning on a guy that had that kind of experience?
Yeah, Chris was great. Chris was always great to me, and I have nothing but nice things and positive things to say about him. I was fortunate that I was kind of the guy, or one of the guys that he kind of took under his wing as I was a rookie coming in, and got a chance to play with him for pretty much the majority of that year, and he certainly taught me a lot about the pro game and just hockey in general, and also helped that I thought we got along great off the ice, and obviously he's a part of the Toronto Maple Leaf organization now, so I certainly was in talks with him over the summer and about where I was going to go and stuff like that. So what an honor for Chris. Couldn't be prouder of him. Very, very, very well deserved too. He was one heck of a hockey player for a very long time, and a very well deserved honor for him, and also for his wife and his kids and the rest of his family as well.
Well, I just think the longevity more than anything else, because for my almost entire career, it seems like he was not just a player, but a good player and a dominant player for such a long time in this league. What do you see in what he has done for so long, and the admiration of that?
Yeah, exactly right. I think with each year longer that I play professionally, I start to realize that I think one of the coolest or the best kind of accomplishments you can have is to be able to say you've done it for a long time. To be able to, this is my 11th year, and I don't have any idea what percentage of people get to year 11, but with each year that goes by, just being fortunate enough to play this game over and over means you're obviously doing something right. And I think Chris is the epitome of that. He's a guy who played a very long time, and he was very successful up until his last year. So again, like I said, a very well-deserved honor for Chris. I couldn't think of another guy who's more deserving for the career he had and for the player he was for that long. It deserves to be in the Hall of Fame.
Played in more places than just here, but maybe more synonymous with Hershey than anything else. What was it like playing here? Because Hershey just has such a massive hockey story in the American Hockey League. What was it like for you?
Yeah, no, it was great. This was my first experience, so coming into it, obviously as a young guy who didn't really know anything different and all that, but it's such a special place to play. I think the one thing that you learn really quickly here is that, one, the history of Hershey Bears hockey in this city is tremendous. The amount of history that's here, the amount of players that have come through here, not necessarily playing for the Bears, but playing against the Bears. I think there's that Gordie Howe quote or whatever, where I think he says anybody in hockey has played a game in Hershey or has been to Hershey for something. So there's that, and then the fan support that you get here is, I don't think there isn't a better place in the American League in terms of fan support. They got a really nice arena, great facilities, and they'll pack this thing. They pack it at pretty much every single night. And to get 10 to 11,000 people in the American Hockey League over and over again, it's such a special place to play. And I look back very, very fondly on my 2.5 years here, and it just puts a smile on my face thinking back to those days and being a young kid and not knowing any better, but just playing hockey and enjoying life.